Rapper Lisa Left Eye Lopez was sentenced yesterday for burning down her boyfriend's $1 million mansion.
I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
Susan, I'm gay.
The 90s, that neon-colored, chunky clothes-wearing decade that gave us lesbians like Katie Lang and Ellen DeGeneres. We are celebrating 9 queer women from the 90s with the objective being, what are they up to today? Honorable mention, Rosie O'Donnell. I feel like Rosie is a famous 90s lesbian, even though she didn't come out till well into the 2000s. But I don't really need to review what she's up to now. I kind of already talked about it when I reviewed her performance as Carrie on the L Word Generation Q. It looks like she's also getting involved in a League of Their Own series reboot, which I believe is coming to Amazon. That's pretty cool. This person is definitely not a lesbian, but they do meet the
famously gay
requirement. It's Sandra Bernhard. An open bisexual since the 90s, Bernhard had developed a close relationship with none other than Madonna in the late 80s. The media became obsessed with the potential sexual nature of this relationship, with Bernhard later admitting that her and Madonna definitely kind of would play it up or allude to the sexual nature of their relationship sometimes. Most notably in the 90s, Bernhard portrayed the first ever open bisexual reoccurring character on TV when she landed the role of Nancy in the hit sitcom Roseanne.
Her name is Marla. I'm seeing a woman.
But if you're a comedian like me, you only know Sandra from her ballsy stand-up comedy and one-woman shows. I mean, the woman got her start with Richard Pryor. She is stand-up comedy royalty. Today, Sandra can be seen on the Ryan Murphy FX series Pose, where she plays a nurse and activist. Pose is on my list of upcoming series to review. It's based on the underground drag ball scene in New York City that took place in the late 80s and 90s. Interestingly, I also learned that Bernhard hosts her own radio show, and it's been going for 3 years now on Sirius, called Sandyland.
Are you dating anybody?
No, that ship has sailed, my love.
Just don't get married again.
Never. No, I will not get married again.
I was worried about you when you got married.
Yeah.
I wanted to reach out, but it's not my business. But now that you're here in Sandyland, it is my business. And I'm taking over Jane Lynch's life.
I wouldn't have listened
marriage.
to you. I wouldn't have listened to you at the time.
I know you wouldn't have, though.
So are you judging me for leaving my marriage? Is that what
you left it?
I left it, yeah. Because I had put myself emotionally and mentally into a box. And this is not her fault. This is all my doing.
How does that manifest?
In order to stay, I'm not a relationship person, and I put myself in a prison.
Okay, I played way more than was necessary, but holy tea bags, that is some juicy ass tea. One thing to note, and she's gone on the record and said she doesn't regret this. Okay, interesting choice. Not that long ago, Bernhard was called out for old stand-up comedy special where she is making fun of Mariah Carey and saying really offensive things.
Mariah Carey and her crazy ass. I got a little bit of black in me too. I didn't tell you that. And now trying to backtrack on our asses, getting real up there at the Royalton Hotel Suite.
Did you just straight up say the N-word? Hard N-word, like plantation Karen, hard N-word. Did you just really just do that? The crazy part is that people actually applauded and cheered at the end of this bit.
You know, say what you want about prison, but it's a great place to meet girls. How many of you see a lesbian with an acoustic guitar and you're starting to get really nervous?
The very first openly gay comedian to appear on late night television, Lea DeLaria, while rediscovered by many millennials and Gen Zers during her run on Orange is the New Black, has long been a queer icon in this community. DeLaria famously invented the U-Haul lesbian joke and started performing it at comedy clubs around 1989. On August 25th of this year, just a few days ago, DeLaria posted on Instagram that she was rehearsing for something but couldn't say what. She recently purchased a bar in Provincetown, Massachusetts, aka Gay Cape Cod. I had the privilege of drunkenly stumbling into it with my wife. We had no idea it was even owned by DeLaria until I went to the bathroom and got a text from my wife being like, "This bar is owned by Lea DeLaria." DeLaria became heavily involved in helping save lesbian bars over the pandemic, narrating the documentary The Lesbian Bar Project. The campaign raised over $100,000, and all of that money went directly to help lesbian bars keep their doors open. She recently appeared in an episode of the Apple series Physical, starring Rose Byrne and set in 1980s San Diego. Byrne rediscovers herself through aerobics. I don't know what kind of role DeLaria plays, but I do want to watch this. DeLaria was also a featured voice actor in the animated series Kippo and the Age of Wonder Beasts. One of the many 90s lesbians who didn't come out until later on, there's a reason Queen Latifah was constantly questioned about her sexuality. It's because she's so gay.
When I bumped up my booty, he was nasty.
Yeah, Queen Latifah, it is nasty when a man tries to grab your booty. Dana Elaine Owens, or Queen Latifah as the world knows her, rose to fame in the early 90s with hip-hop songs like Unity, and appearances in cult classic movies like House Party 2, Juice, and on shows like The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Latifah was so obviously in the closet that when she entered into a feud with fellow artist Foxy Brown, Brown immediately went to put downs about her being a lesbian and saying homophobic slurs. Queen Latifah, by the way, has never really confirmed her sexuality, but she did this year at the BET Awards thank her longtime partner and wish everyone a happy Pride at the end of her acceptance speech. But what's Queen Latifah up to these days? I mean, I'm sure she's currently filming some makeup commercial. In 2019, she launched a program called The Queen Collective, whose aim is to create racial and gender equality behind the camera. In February of this year, CBS debuted The Equalizer, in which Queen Latifah plays the title character of the show, Robin McCall. She's a single mother with a kind of mysterious military-esque background who becomes the guardian angel for those who cannot help themselves. Queen Latifah is a natural as a badass single mother. I'll probably be watching this instead of watching season 897 of SVU. This doesn't even begin to describe all the various projects Queen Latifah has going. She's got stuff out the ass. She's voicing video game projects, animated projects, commercials, TV shows, series, movies. She is, let's just say she's doing really well. The real big news on Queen Latifah for this year, I already mentioned. At the BET Awards, she was being honored and being given the Lifetime Achievement Award. And during the acceptance speech, she acknowledged her longtime partner, Ebony Nichols.
Ebony, my love. Rebel, my love. Peace. Happy Pride.
Woo, I did it. Woo, I did it. I finally came out, right? What? Did you come? I did it. I did it. I came out. But did you really? What, was that really as clear? I did it. I came out. Whew, feels good. I'm out. Katie Lang. Most known for this. Oh, peep Katie Lang rocking the earliest form of the lesbian thirst trap with that button-up shirt and that slight cleave and the androgyny. She was the original TikTok thirst trap. For those of you who, like me, first heard a Katie Lang reference in the movie 10 Things I Hate About You, Katie Lang is a Grammy Award-winning Canadian singer. Lang famously came out in 1992 via the magazine The Advocate. One thing I didn't realize was that early in her career, Katie Lang was actually a country star. And after she came out in 92, like, all the American country stations refused to play her music. At the 1993 Grammy Awards, she faced a picket line of people protesting her. They're just protesting her. Can you imagine being a lesbian, showing up somewhere, and people are just protesting your existence? You have sex with other women! Lang famously posed in a chair with shaving cream on her neck while a Scantily clad Cindy Crawford straddled her on a 1993 Vanity Fair cover. I had the immense pleasure of being able to watch Katie Lang perform live several years ago when I still lived in Minneapolis. Honestly, just being in a giant auditorium filled to the brim with like middle-aged lesbians was amazing. But besides still performing in places like Minneapolis, what is Katie Lang up to? Well, I came across some kind of unexpected, sad articles. She has gone on record that she probably won't produce any new music ever again, explaining to fans that it's not easy to just keep creating good content. Whew. Telling me, Katie. Just imagine being a YouTuber. In May of this year, 2021, None Such Records released an album of remixes of all Katie Lang songs. In an interview I read, she said something along the lines of like, "That's not my music, but it's nice that they did this." Okay. We're gonna keep this musician's ball rolling with someone who's got a fast car. Someone who's been working at the convenience store. That's right, I'm talking about none other than Tracy Chapman, who broke onto the music scene in 1988, but really made a name for herself performing at Nelson Mandela's televised 70th birthday party. Chapman is no doubt the most guarded person on this list. She has zero social media, very rarely gives interviews, and in the FAQ section of her website lists "who cares" as the answer to whether she's a lesbian or not. Oh, honey. It's not like Fast Car is Chapman's only hit, but it is the only one that ended up becoming a lesbian anthem throughout the years. I mean, come on. A genderless couple trying to escape their horrid small town? Like, plus this? Have you seen Tracy Chapman in the 90s? Holy sh**. Now, even though Tracy Chapman protects herself with a very, very sturdy "you cannot f*** with me" wall, we do know some things about her life since the 90s. For one thing, we know she dated Alice Walker, famed author of The Color Purple and hugely important political activist. In 2015, Chapman released a greatest hits compilation, and she told the media, "I have not retired, I still plan on making music, but as of 2021, nothing new has come out yet." She did perform Talking About a Revolution on Late Night with Seth Meyers in November of 2020 to help encourage people to get out and vote. You may not think you know her, but you do. And if you still can't figure out exactly who Linda Perry is, just try. Oh my God, just try. Try a little harder to remember who Linda Perry is if you have not caught on. That's right, Linda Perry is the lead singer and writer of Four Non-Blondes, the group that produced the smash hit single in the 90s, What's Up, otherwise referred to as What's Going On by me and everybody else who thinks that songs are just named after their chorus. When I was digging around, I discovered this gem of a quote. "I'm not supposed to tell you this, and my publicist said to me, 'Please don't say this, but I really wasn't a big fan of my band.' I didn't like the record at all. Drifting was the only song I loved. I did love What's Up, but I hated the production. When I heard our record for the first time, I cried. I didn't sound like me." Now, just a few months before coming out via The Advocate, which after doing this list I learned was like the 90s favorite way to release gays to society. This is what she said when she came out in The Advocate. "All my life I've loved women, and that's it. I've never been any other way. All my life I've loved women." Whoop, how did my cigarette turn metal? Today, Linda Perry lives in LA and spends a lot of time with the son she shares with ex-partner Sarah Gilbert. In an interview she gave over the pandemic, she specifically was talking about how she's not all LA and blah, 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 blah. And then when I went to her Instagram, the very first post I saw is a video of her telling us all how we can make her smoothies. Okay, Linda, I think you're a little LA. She also made this amazing piece of social commentary. This just looks like a totally normal commercial for Bang, that energy drink that they're always marketing to kids. Perry's still doing what she started doing in 2000 and has only gotten better at, writing and producing music for other artists and bands. She, of course, won a Grammy for her work with Pink back in 2000, and as recently as 2020, produced a song for Alicia Keys and Brandi Carlile. Okay, I didn't know Alicia Keys and Brandi Carlile were making music together. Hold up. Can we just talk about Brandi Carlile's suit? I mean, if the white suit wasn't enough, adding that Rainbow America pin, blew my cleavage up. I recently read something about her and Sarah Gilbert getting back together, being on again, off again. Honestly, who knows what's going on, but they definitely seem to be doing a great job co-parenting their child together. If there's any lesbian on the planet who could rival Rosie O'Donnell for most closeted in the 90s, it's gotta be Jodie Foster. A well-known child star since the 70s, and the victim of famous stalker John Hinckley, who attempted to kill Ronald Reagan and became obsessed with Jodie Foster while she was in college at Harvard. Foster came into the 90s via the 1991 smash hit The Silence of the Lambs. Foster was, in part, outed because of her role in Silence of the Lambs. Two queer publications, Outweek and The Village Voice, both lambasted Foster for her role in the movie, which portrayed the bad guy Buffalo Bill as a bisexual and a trans person. They particularly lambasted her as somebody who should know better because she is a closeted lesbian. On February 28th of this year at the 2021 Golden Globes Awards, which were held virtually because of the pandemic, Foster could be seen sitting next to her longtime partner, photographer Alexandra, with their cute dog sitting between them. Foster ended up winning a Golden Globe Best Supporting Actress for her role in The Mauritanian, a movie based on a true story about a Guantanamo Bay prisoner who was held for 14 years without being charged. Jodie plays a lawyer who is contacted by this prisoner's family and attempts to help him get free. You really can't get through a list about gay women in the 90s without mentioning the absolute, no doubt, queen of being a gay woman in the 90s, Ellen DeGeneres. I covered Ellen's background, including everything that happened during the 90s, fairly extensively in the video I did about her ending her show, if you want to check that out. The final season of her long-running talk show will begin September 13th, and it will end sometime in 2022. On August 16th, Ellen tweeted out a happy anniversary pic of her and her wife, Portia de Rossi. They've got a lot of people rooting against them right now, so it actually made me really happy to see that they're still going strong as a couple. Come to my, y'all know what I'm talking about? Come to my window. I don't even have to say it. You know who I'm talking about. Melissa Etheridge. Interestingly, Etheridge experienced some modest fame and success with her first two albums, but she really shot to fame after the release of her third album, which happened to come after she came out to the world as a lesbian. This is the first time I've ever seen in the 90s somebody coming out and it seeming to positively affect their career. Melissa is a true rock and roller. She named one of her children Miller Steven. She has fought and beat breast cancer. This woman is a true rock and roller badass. So what's she doing these days? Well, in 2014, Melissa Etheridge partnered with a medical marijuana dispensary to start making cannabis-infused wine. That's pretty awesome. She also started Etheridge TV, a streaming service that you can basically just pay to watch Melissa Etheridge perform. She came up with the idea during the pandemic when she had to cancel her last tour. In May of 2020, Melissa Etheridge tweeted out some devastating news that she had lost her son Beckett to an opioid addiction. In the aftermath, she started the Etheridge Foundation, which is dedicated to finding alternative sources to treat pain. She's been quoted saying her and her family are just having to take this one day at a time. To celebrate Pride last year, Variety interviewed Melissa Etheridge and her wife, Linda Wallem, about their relationship and how they got together. It's a really cute article where they even mention the kids trying to get them together Parent Trap style at one point. And I'm gonna end the list on that beautiful gay note. Okay, hit me. Who did I leave off? Let me know in the comments. Make sure you've got notifications turned on. If you're subbed, I get to do community posts now. Ha ha! All right, thank you for watching. I'll see you next video.